You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Vampire Diaries After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Vampire Diaries After Show.
Drink a beer.
All right, you guys, I chose Drink a Beer by my man Luke tonight to play because that's just how this episode made me feel at the end. Just kind of a little solemn, and I would like to drink a beer. But welcome to AFTERBUZZ for your favorite TV show, The Vampire Diaries. I am your host, Megan Medick, and as you can see, I'm solo tonight. I miss all of my friends, but I have Stephen in the booth.
Hey.
He's gonna hang out. Yay! So Stephen will be here with us too. And I just want to start by reading you guys some of the tweets that you already have sent me. This is episode 18, Resident Evil. Aaron Kelly said, I love this episode, but really, Damon, let's all feel sad, feel so bad for Damon and have a pity party. Hashtag no, hashtag annoying. Tan B. Oh, that was for Rain. My bad. Aaron Kelly again said, I wanted to throw something at Elena at the end of the episode. I hate her and Damon together. Ugh. Hashtag Stefan and Elena. Yep. Sarah Figueroa, who is awesome and always watches, says, well, this episode of VD was crap. Okay, Stefan, now go out and find a girl who adores you and is smarter than idiot E. And at DXANA, tweeted at me like right before we even started and said, I take it you're running solo on TVD recap tonight, which is so awesome, but I had no idea that you guys could see me. So hello, I'm glad to know that you guys can catch me before we even start. But let's just dive right into this episode. Stefan and Elena were having some crazy dream visions. I'm interested to know what you guys think about those. I thought that it was so cute, the life that they could have had. Stefan is such a gentleman, and I just thought it was cute watching them meet and trying to fall in love. Obviously, it wasn't real, even though I'm a huge Stelena fan. It just seemed completely different. Oh, also, you guys, Paul Wesley, who plays Stefan, directed this episode. So did you notice anything different about the style? I thought some of the camera angles were different. Seemed really cool. I thought he did a good job. Huge fan of Paul. But Stefan and Elena are having these dreams, and this episode kind of reveals why. Why are the doppelgangers drawn together? And not to toot my own horn, but as I predicted a couple of weeks ago, I said that I think that those visions are going to happen is because they're the last two doppelgangers and the universe is drawing them together. And that's kind of what happened, is the universe was drawing them together. So I loved those visions. I thought they were super cute. Fortunately, they had to end like all of the Stelena dreams out there have been doing. But we also have Enzo and Damon, you know, kind of being friends again, back to their old buddy-buddy ways, but not killing people. And Enzo actually had a couple of really good quotes this episode that stick out to me. One that I wrote down, he said, hope can trick you into all sorts of hilarious, unrealistic scenarios. And that could not be more true. I mean, how many times have you liked someone and you're like, oh, I think that they like me too, or they just texted me or whatever, and you think that there's hope there, but really you broke up and there is no hope. I think that that's what he was kind of getting at and it really stuck out to me. So I thought that Enzo was kind of wise. We also hear that he doesn't want to date Maggie. He just wants to thank her, which was really cool. He's not a creep, but does it kind of mean that he is really hitting on Caroline? I don't know. Kind of seemed that way to me. Love to hear what you guys think, as always. But he seems like he might be going for Caroline, still calling her beautiful. I don't know if that's just his charm that he does have, but we will see. But Enzo was great this episode. He wasn't killing anyone. He was kind of on the moderate behavior side, which is nice. So let's go into Marcos. He is officially back. He said that 1,500 years ago, he casted a spell and it tore the travelers apart. But now he is back, and it's causing a ruckus on the other side. And the person who gets to deliver this news is Grams. Welcome back, Grams. You're looking good, girl. Always love Grams. She's so wise. I thought that Bonnie was kind of weird when she saw Grams. Like, act a little more surprised. Like, we haven't seen Grams in a long time, and it's weird because we forget, well, I forget, that Bonnie has this, like, other side connection because we just never see it. So, like, has she been seeing Grams? Like, do they hang out and chat regularly? Because she didn't act surprised at all to see her. But nonetheless, Graham says that there's something weird going on over here. We think that the travelers ambushed you all at once so someone could sneak out. And it's turning the other side upside down. And she basically said the witches are scared. Someone got through Bonnie to go to the other side. And we all know that that's Marcos, as we saw in the last episode, episode 17. But we don't really know, who Marcos is. We know he's the leader of the travelers, but we don't know why he's back yet. But we kind of find out that he's the one who's bringing the dreams or the visions of Stefan and Elena together. They need their blood, the doppelganger blood, which we knew that this was going to come to surface. They took the doppelganger blood a long time ago, and they've just been holding on to it, and there's a reason for that. And the travelers are just ready to stake their claim in Mystic Falls, apparently. So we have Liv, and she is just like, I don't even know how I feel about her, you guys. I'm literally bordering on the fact that I don't like her. She just is causing trouble. She reminds me of Haley when Haley first came to Mystic Falls and was all over Tyler and was being sneaky with Tyler. But when Caroline would come around, she'd be like, not my problem. Like, I'm staying out of it. I'm above high school drama. That's how I feel about Liv coming between Jeremy and Bonnie. And we've just waited so long for Jeremy and Bonnie to be together and this relationship to actually work. Jeremy has no track record. Like, that's the worst with the ghosts and Vicky and everything. Bonnie is trying to trust him, but he just is MIA, and it's because of Liv. It literally is a replica of the situation that Haley caused when she came to Mystic Falls. But Liv is working now with Jeremy, Matt, and Tyler. They are trying to kill all the travelers. So we see with Liv that they have the knife that takes passengers out of people's bodies. And she's like, okay, first, before we start, I'm going to have to stab all of you. And Tyler just totally manned up and was so hot about it. He was just a really hot hybrid, and he was like, go ahead, stab me. There's nobody in me. So basically she thinks, okay, they're all clear. There's not a passenger in them. Let's just get it. Let's just get this ball rolling. We have to go around and stab this town because apparently the travelers are trying to come to head in Mystic Falls. So they're entering everyone's body, and we see this happen first with the sheriff. So the sheriff comes in, and she's supposed to meet the girls at Mystic the grill for lunch, which is weird because the girls woke up in their dorm room and now they're going to travel all the way back to Mystic Falls to the grill. Whatever, minor detail. Anyways, the sheriff misses lunch, so it's like suspicion number 1. Then Matt sees her and was like, okay, you know, she definitely has a passenger inside of her, but she hears him talk about the knife. So little Matt gets stabbed. The sheriff basically just kills everyone, but it was good to see her back too. We had a lot of really great characters that we haven't seen in a while resurface in this episode. So we have the sheriff, and God, it's so creepy when these passengers get inside your body when your eyes go all black. I just hate it, and it's terrifying. But we see Matt get killed, and he goes to the other side. So when he's over there, we see Cole, another original vamp that we haven't seen in a long time. And basically people can see each other now on the other side. And we start for the first time realizing the complete havoc that is breaking loose over there. You're supposed to go to the other side and live out the rest of your eternity in seclusion. And that's not what is happening anymore. It's just as the wind is blowing, it's creepy over there. Everyone can see each other. The one guy who Matt first saw when he came over, and he was like, can you see me? And the guy like nodded his head super creepily. I felt like I was on that haunted house ride at Disneyland. I was like, oh my God, bro, you've been here for too long. But anyways, Matt starts trying to find Vicky. And it was awesome to see her, but it's just so creepy. I thought that Matt was going to try to bring her back. But is that possible now? Like, the curtain's not down. Bonnie's the anchor. I just think that the Marcos ambush was the only way that you can get back from the other side now. Is that right, guys? Yeah. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Woo! You can't get over from the other side. You got to stay. So we see that when Vicky tries to kind of get through, it just tears them apart. And Vicky is sucked up into the universe. And you know what it reminded me of? When Catherine got sucked away. Was that similar on purpose? Because that was the same exit that our girl Catherine made. So I don't know. Things are just getting really, really weird over there. And then before Matt comes back, he finds Cole. And Cole is actually like, I'm scared. Like, you need whatever's happening over here and whatever happened to Vicky is about to happen to the rest of us because we don't know where Vicky went. I think it's where Catherine went. But Cole is like, I'm scared. Matt, you got to get back to your body and you got to figure out what's happening on your side, the side of the living, because it's not going to bode well for all of us. Bode well for all of us over here on the other side. So we also find out that oh my gosh. And then we see Luke for a second. And Luke is the one who is like, I think that the visions are being caused by Marcos. He's back. And Damon, when Luke said that he was a twin, Damon was like, is it possible for one person to just be one of someone around here? Which is a hilarious play on doppelgangers. Classic Damon. Love him. But we start needing to find Marcos. So Elena's like, okay, yeah, like I'll keep having these visions and we'll get to Marcos. So finally we find him and he's in the house that Stefan and Elena were supposed to live happily ever after in. And so we hear finally the war about the travelers and the witches. We know that they hate each other. And we find out why. So when the immortality spell was cast a while ago, the witches, it caused a little uproar with them, a little bit of uneasiness. But the witches cast a spell to scatter all the travelers because they didn't want them all together. And they tried to make them forget, how powerful they are when they're all together. So when travelers come together, there's some kind of a disaster, like an earthquake or a flood or something crazy that goes on that's disastrous to keep the travelers all apart. And lo and behold, what fixes this is the doppelganger blood, the blood that we have been waiting for so long. And this is just so crazy to me. Like, the witches, there's so many different covens that it just is hard to keep up. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you watch the originals. There's so many different covens and types of witches there. And now there's these old witches that want to keep the travelers away. But then there's, like witches like Bonnie's mom used to be, who only worked on stuff from the earth and nature. So this feud is just such a long time for them to be mad at each other. I just don't even understand. You guys have got to like tweet us and comment and tell us what you think about this feud. I'm interested to see how it's all going to come to head with the travelers and the witches, because obviously Liv and Luke's coven is one of the main covens that's trying to get rid of them. But Marcos is having the doppelgangers, Stefan and Elena, come together because they need their blood. And he's saying that the promise of true love is really the strongest thing out there and will bring them together. And this is really sad because it finally made me think, like, oh my gosh, the universe isn't really trying to pull Stefan and Elena together. This is just a ploy from Marcos that he, put out there to get their blood. So there is no real connection that they're universally supposed to be in love and together. That's the way I took it, and it really made my heart break. So are they not fated to be together? Is that the way you guys took it too? Because I think that Marcos just wants their blood, and they're two separate people, and they're really allowed to just do whatever they want. They just need to be in the same place. And to make them be in the same place, he created this illusion of love. I still have hope for them. I just don't know why. I just don't know why anymore. It's been so long since they've been together for real, but I love Stefan so much. But maybe he does deserve someone who's like really loves him for him. I know that you guys have a lot to say about the relationship status of these two. So doppelganger blood fixes the travelers not being able to be together. But one of the ways that the travelers are trying to be together anyways to concoct their mass plan of destruction is by becoming passengers and taking over entire towns. Because if they are a passenger, they can all be together without a disastrous situation occurring. So we see at the end of the episode just how many people and how many bodies they've taken over. Marcos is basically running Mystic Falls. And this reminded me of when Silas just like mind controlled the whole town to find Catherine. But Marcos is like running this town, calling the shots. Everyone's doing their crazy little chant. And he decides to end the vision to prove to Damon that he is not a threat to him. So I'm sorry, all of you Stelena lovers out there. The visions have officially concluded. I don't understand why the writers can't give us more than just a taste of it for one episode. Probably just to keep us hanging on to hope. And it works sometimes. But yeah, he's running this entire town with people who chant, and they're all passengers, which is really scary. Let's see what else we have going on. So they're not best destined to be together, which is something that I already touched on. I really want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Is that the way that you took it? Did Marcos just create this? And how is this guy so powerful and so old? Why didn't we hear about him when we were digging up Silas? Where is this guy coming from? But we also realize, then I got scared for a minute, that Tyler was working with Marcos, but that was all wrong. when Tyler, who was the one who stabbed the sheriff and got the passenger out of her body, we saw him turn around. I totally forgot. We saw him turn around because someone was there, and he just stopped dead in his tracks. So apparently what we didn't see was a passenger got inside of his body, which is totally dangerous because now Marcos has the knife. Well, should I say had the knife, because he burned it and destroyed it, and that was the last one. So now we're jumping into a whole new ridiculous set of problems, because how the heck are we going to kill these passengers who are in the bodies of everyone in Mystic Falls? They're taken over one by one. Resident Evil, for sure. But I thought that Tyler was working with him for a second, and I was like, what? That's so sketch. I knew that you were bored, but come on. That's not the right thing to do. But it's not Tyler. Someone else is in there. But they also say, Marco says, this body isn't temporary. And, when our mission is complete, what happens. They're all destroyed. So basically, everyone is either going to be destroyed or we have to find a way to kill the travelers. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I think that the witches and Liv and Luke's coven is really going to have to step up to the plate and figure it out. I think that their only plan was the knife, and they're going to have to find plan B, which means we're going to have to start trusting Liv and Luke, which I really, really, really don't want to do. Because she's sketch. She's reminding me of Haley, and that's kind of sketchy, even though Haley's pretty and really cool. I do love her. So we see at the end of the episode, to wrap it up for you guys, the final love triangle scene between Elena and the two brothers. Stefan just understands her and is so easy to talk to, and they can be friends. It just seems like the right choice, but you can't. Even someone said in this episode, was it Enzo again? Oh no, it was Stefan. Sorry, it's my man Stefan. He said you can be friends with someone or in love with them, not both. Which I get. I totally get that. I think that that's true, but I don't think that applies to everyone, especially for Stefan and Elena, because I do think that Stefan and Elena still are in love with each other in some respect, and they're definitely becoming friends. I don't think it's a friendship like him and Caroline have, but I think that they're completely friends. And they both admit, they'll always love each other. And Stefan was making really good points about how, okay, these visions weren't real, but what we had was real. Like, we fell in love on our own, and it was real, and it was all before they knew that they were fated by the universe, aka Marcos, to be together. So that was really sweet, and I think that this showed Elena that she wants this from Damon too. This respect and love that she sees from Stefan, she wants from Damon, and it blows up in her face. And this is where I don't understand Damon. Like, he can just be so, I love him. I think he's hilarious and an amazing character. And I'm not going to make this a whole hashtag Stelena AFTERBUZZ because I'm all alone for you guys. But I do love Damon, and I think he's a hilarious character, and he's the best. But he wants Elena so bad, and he just becomes so destructive when they're not together, that why can't he just, try? I understand that it's painful for him, but why wouldn't he try if he wants to be better for Elena? He just really confuses me. I don't understand what he really wants. But Elena says, we're messy and we're complicated, but we're real. And at this point I was like, oh my God, she's trying to get back together with him. She's literally trying to get back together with him. But she wanted to be friends, and Damon does not want to be her friend. He just is like, absolutely not. I can't see you. I can't be around you. I can't look at you. And I guess if that's what he needs to do to be able to move on, that's great. But I feel like that should be Elena saying that to him. Elena, wake up. He's so bad for you, even though we all love him. Like, she should be the one not wanting to see him. But I don't know. It's got to work out for either of them. And I think that, like, we really touched on everything. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and feedbacks. Comment and tweet at me so I can have a conversation with this. With somebody, all of you guys who are watching and listening. But Steven, do you have anything you want to say about Vampire Diaries?
It's great.
Okay, it's great. Let's go into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay. I am going to predict, and I haven't seen the previews for next week's episode, so this is just me going right off the cusp. I am going to predict that we are going to get a Bonnie-Jeremy breakup. Sorry, guys. I know I love them together. I love them both so much, but I think that Bonnie is going to end up breaking up with Jeremy. I just feel it coming. I just don't like all the secrets. And I think that Bonnie is going to get jealous unintentionally, even though she does want to see the best in him. And she's trying. I don't know if that's going to work. Hookups. I think that we might see a little bit of Caroline and Enzo, but I think that we are also finally going to get to meet Maggie, who Enzo speaks so highly of. And maybe Damon will kill someone next week because of all the things he said to Elena this week. But you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Steven, where can we find everyone here at AfterBuzz?
At AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, and here next week for the Vampire Diaries After Show with a full panel.
Yeah, full panel, even though I'm sure you guys didn't mind me being all alone, right? But you can find me. You can go to my website, meganmedick.com, Instagram at Megan Medick, or on Twitter at TheBowWowGal. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Tweet at me, and we can chat all things VD. Thanks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.